This story is called Denial. I love drinking. I love everything about it. Why not? Who doesn't? It's a love story, remember? Drinking, a love story. Here in the enlightened village, people are afraid to drink. I'm referring to this suburban casket where all the neighbors live with me in baby boomer death hell. Yeah, I'm a little cynical. I mean, just to give you an idea, these people have dogs they follow through the woods on the walking paths in the surrounding fields where pets are allowed off leash. They follow them with little plastic bags to pick up their poop. What they do afterwards is they leave it there, the bag, tied tight on the ground where the feces landed, and just go merrily on their way. Effectively, they seal in the poop so that it can't biodegrade, and it sits there, entombed in clear plastic and in clear view even after days and days of rain, which would effectively disintegrate it if it were allowed to rest in peace like any normal turd. But no, wrap it in plastic. Eventually, the bags bloat in the sunshine due to the decomposition of the poop trapped inside, and they wind up looking like little shit balloons. Now, this is the standard of social correctness here in the enlightened village. Bunch of doo-doo-gooders. The poop is protected from what I truly do not know, and then the entity, swollen with methane gas, becomes an explosive hazard at risk of spontaneous combustion so that passers-by are actually in danger from the packaged shit, whereas it would be perfectly harmless if you just left it the way it was. You can just imagine the carnage caused by molten plastic stuck to the bodies of little shit-covered toddlers. It essentially transforms a pleasant saunter through the woods into a terrifying death march through a minefield. This is what I'm saying. It's like those hybrids everybody buys around here that put more pollutants into the environment than regular cars do that just get decent mileage. And the huge batteries that run the things are toxic waste hazards. See? Same with the kids in the village. They're so protected and supervised and coddled that they're actually at greater risk than if they were left on their own. The risk is due to their having absolutely zero common sense or street smarts because they never get to settle into their own minds, and therefore know and learn to protect themselves. And if they have a taste for something which goes beyond the length of an apron string, it turns quickly frustrating or frightening for them. So instead of allowing these infant adolescents to dwell in their natural environments, play with peers unsupervised, engage in outdoor adventure and mystery, encounter some danger, and experience social bonding with the aggressiveness, competitiveness, and hierarchies which accompany these things, the little shits. What we do is essentially bag them in parental pouches, raise them in bassinets, and eventually they swell up inside, so we have to medicate them to keep them from exploding their fetid emotional crap all over us and everyone else. These are mostly young boys I'm talking about in the bubble, suffering internally from a pharmaceutically managed shitstorm. I said I was cynical. I love drinking. But around here, the adults say things like, "My wife gets upset when I drink. Her father was an alcoholic." Or, "I don't enjoy the feeling that I'm not in control." Or, "Why do you need it? I feel fine without any alcohol at all." Fuck you! I love drinking. I love everything about it. And here's the next level of bullshit. I can't handle it. I drank abusively, and now I don't drink at all. But go ahead, feel free. Doesn't bother me if you want to drink. Live and let live. That's what we say in the program. Because I have a disease. I have a disease. Please, Spare me the freaking drama. Talk about shit. You're a booze bag, and now all of a sudden it's a disease? Look, if you can't handle it, don't do it. But don't turn it into a lifestyle where you go to meetings to talk about booze, tell stories about booze, meet and greet about booze, think about booze. Your life is still centered on booze. You do everything but drink booze. That's not right. You don't want to drink. Good for you. Don't drink. Don't expect me to congratulate you, though. That's like congratulating a cowboy with hemorrhoids for not riding his horse bareback. And anyway, did you ever stop to think there might be a good reason, why you're drinking so much? Did you ever think there was some meaning to it all? Did you? I have positively had it with the entire disease fetish. What isn't a disease now? Drinking began the trend. Alcoholism is a disease. And then came gambling, eating, shopping, sex. Christ Jesus, if you're not addicted to eating and sex, there's no hope for your survival or the survival of the species altogether. This is what I'm saying. Practically everybody was drinking at work just a few years back. 2 martini lunches with the boys in marketing, remember? Have a few smokes while you're at it. Cigars, cigarettes, cigarillos. Following your roast prime rib or New York strip. Delmonico potatoes on the side. Maybe a few leaves of iceberg lettuce thrown in for some washed out color. And then, after work, home to a waiting cocktail you have with your wife. That's right, your wife! No teetotalers, those women in the 60s and 70s. No Surrey Bob. Bunch of rummies themselves, those sexy little gin bags. Little low-cut, pedal-pushing, high-heeled, go-go booted hot mamas wearing makeup. Yeah. None of these skinny-ass, salad-eating mental midgets who imagine abuse around every corner. There were no wussy, can't-say-what-you-feel types or carrying placards promoting homosexuality but denying God in the schools back in the day, I'll tell you that. Nowadays, you tell an off-color joke and there's a congressional hearing. Anita Hill is a hero, a saint, a martyr. Remember that? Don't even get me started with Anita Hill, that clown. Can't even pray or pledge allegiance to the flag in school anymore without some jackass ramping up a prejudice squawk. We don't believe in Jesus. We think nationalism is dangerous. Church and state, church and state. Get the nativity scene out of the public park. Get out along with a girl back in the day, and she'll slap you square in the kisser, and if you're lucky she doesn't knee you in the nuts while you're reeling there in shock. None of this call the police, press charges, and then go to therapy for the rest of your life crap. Okay. And then, after your cocktail hour, you got your sexiness built right into the names of the drinks. Cocktail, highball, just a thought. So after the cocktail, a couple of glasses of vino rosso with a beefy dinner, a few more smokes, give the little lady a toss, and sleep the sleep that follows a day well lived. Next day, hit the office, or the links, depending on where you are in the week. Then, church, yard work, baseball, football, whatever. A night out with the wife, and maybe another couple or two, and television with the kiddies some nights. Okay? You got the pretty picture? All that comes from being able to drink. You need 2 things to drink. Your wife on your side and buddies. Then you're holding an aces. Once you got that, you can put up with anything. Kids, church, work, bills, neighbors, cops, traffic, shit balloons, war, anything. Anything at all can be managed, and happily, I might add, if you have a supportive, drunken wife and drinking buddies. Are you getting this down? Now we're all screwed. He drinks every day. He's an alcoholic. He drank a whole bottle of wine at the party last night. He's a substance abuser. His personality changes when he drinks. He's an addict. I smelled alcohol on his breath yesterday. He's got a drinking problem. I'm afraid of him when he drinks. He reminds me of my father. If you're afraid, then he's abusing you. He's an abuser. You're a victim. And sometimes you get into conversations with the odd guy at the church beanpot supper when you ask if he wants a paper cup of wine and he refuses. No thanks. Oh, what? You don't like this kind of wine? Oh, I do drink once in a great while on the rare occasion, maybe a half a glass. Hardly ever really finish it. Really don't like the feeling very much. Okay, man. So what do you do to relax? Woodworking? Wood what? Woodworking. In the basement. You're shitting me. Nope. Damn. Like with a bandsaw and all? Yep. You do this after your workday? Yep. What do you make down there? Oh, stands, shelves, boxes. Boxes? Yep. Once I made an armoire for the master bedroom. No. Yep. And this is what you do to unwind? Yep. Fucking. Yep. It relaxes me. Christ almighty, just think about the stress level of a guy who relaxes with screaming electrical power tools spinning millimeters from his face and fingers in extreme danger, it seems to me. Goggles and gauntlets providing nothing for protection against buzzing, twisted blue steel blades getting shit all over the place, wood chips and shit. How about forget about making a box, bro, and have a cocktail? Let's talk a little. Watch the game. Watch a movie. Whatever. Nope. Forget it. The day has gone when you could relax and have any fun like that. It's also freaking wholesome now and inclusive and sophisticated and boring in the village. It makes you want to puke. Makes you hate life. Makes you want to drink. I love drinking. Everything changes for the better when booze is on board. Women are sexier, more playful. Everybody is more real, more honest. You get your really obnoxious people who get pissed off, cry, tell their secrets, tell other people's secrets. It's a ball. Here, in the village, parties are essentially a group of stiffs standing around reading Hallmark cards to one another and apologizing when somebody bumps into them on their way to the bottled water. What's my point here? My point here is that I must be living in the past, if you can call this living. I drink a bottle of wine every night, maybe more, never fail, and if I feel like drinking at any other time, I do. That's my point. I do it. I love it. Fuck it. Oh, and okay, there's more. The Chinese medicine woman acupuncturist, whatever, tells me that drinking irritates my prostate, and that's why the thing is the size of my head, and how come I gotta pee all the time and can't? What does she know? She doesn't even have a prostate. That's like priests giving marriage advice. I just go to her because she's cute and sticks her finger up my ass in a nice way. A little prostate massage, she calls it. Rrr. Gives me herbs and remedies and a diet to follow. I can't do it. I just can't. I take the herbs, but I wash them down with wine. Defeated the purpose, she says. I say, can't hurt. At least I got the good crap in me. Better to have booze and herbs than just booze, no? This is my point. She says I need willpower. She says, if you want good health, you'll have to have willpower. I told her, hey, if I'm going to fight against the bottle, I'm going to have to do it drunk. Now, that's funny, but she doesn't laugh because she's Chinese and she doesn't get me. Cute, though. She says my diet has to change, and get this, I'm digging my grave with my own teeth. Now that's funny, but she doesn't know it. I'm rolling around on the table in spasms, and she doesn't get what's so funny. She doesn't get me and doesn't get herself. She says something like, if my outflow exceeds my inflow, my upkeep will be my downfall. She's like a fortune cookie. She means well, though. Cute, cute, cute. Probably her grandfather and shit scared my old man out of his wits in Korea 50 years ago. But that was then. I let it go. I'm good like that. With the Chinese, I got no problem. Well, okay. With human rights, they could use a makeover, but they need time. So now my regular doc says that I have high PSA and high liver enzymes. SGOT, GGPT. He's full of numbers and letters, the guy. Says my liver is throwing off enzymes, and that's an early sign of liver disease. Yeah, well, life is an early sign of death. Cry. All of Europe drinks a bottle of wine at night. Those little guinea kids are drinking it right out of the baby bottle mixed with a little sugar and water. Helps them sleep. I'm living in the wrong decade and the wrong continent. My shrink, Marushka Kabbalah, whatever. Talk about cute. Where did they get these chicks? I was referred to her from the anger management course. Don't ask! It pisses me off! So the shrink always wants me to spill the beans about my wife, my ex, my second ex. Marushka thinks she left me, the second one, because of my drinking. I say no. She was the biggest party girl you ever met. And then what? We get married. And 2 years later, she's in a book club, a church social club. Got a rainbow on her bumper, and she's hardly drinking. I say, baby, what's up? We never have any fun anymore. She says, well then, why don't I go to this fundraiser and that village meeting? And I say, whoa, I'd rather play with a freaking buzzsaw in that guy's basement. Can't stand those people at the town meetings. Not for anything, but they drink tea. How am I going to get jiggy with tea? Marushka says I'm in denial. What does she know? I hired her a week before the second one left. Almost a year ago now. Well, she didn't leave. I did. Well, I left, but not because I wanted to. She told the cops a load of shit about me one night and then got an order of restraint. Excuse me? This is just exactly how they have tried to make me into a dog. Really, a restraining order should be something for a dog, not a person, and I'm no dog. I mean, I got my shit, like any other dog, but I'm a good guy. I'm religious. I believe stuff. I pray. Everybody's got to believe in something, right? I believe I'll have another drink. Okay, no, I don't care who you are. That's funny. And I'm honest. I tell it like it is. You don't want to hear it? I'm sorry. But at least you know that you're going to get the real deal from me. One thing I know, talk about honest, is that I'm going to die. Everybody should know it, but they live like they don't. It happens all around us, but not to us, right? Wake up and smell the mimosas. Look at the life around here. Who the fuck would stay unhappy, stuck in a shit job, a shit marriage, a shit life, if they really knew they were going to die? Answer me that. Nobody. That's the answer. So if you know you're going to die, you got to either go and live free or drink. It's the only way I know to stay put, to not rock the dinghy, to go along, to get along. Drinking. It's the tried and true way to hit the off switch on all that. To hit the off switch on not living free or dying scared. Dying scared, yeah. They sent me over in 68 when I was 19. I was happy to go. Thought it'd be cool or interesting or adventurous, fight for freedom and democracy. Then there'd be guns and buddies and pot and prostitutes for $3 American. 2-hour-long massages from 16-year-old beauties for $2. Happy endings. I figured I'd keep it on the lowdown. No heroic measures, run slow, stay back, keep my finger on the trigger, sleep in a tree, be safe, come home a hero, get school paid for. This is what they told us. But once you've seen a body where it's not supposed to be, especially one that was just doing something a few minutes ago, it changes you. It changes the way you see. It changes your dreams. And then you get afraid. Afraid you're going to smell it again. Smell the blood and the burning. And you realize that someday you're going to smell that way yourself. And a stranger is going to be cutting you up, shutting you in, pushing you here and there in a plastic body bag, and there's nothing you can do about it. You realize, once you've seen it, that you are the shit balloon of the future. I've seen a few of those back in the day. I was young, but that didn't last. Neither did bawling about it. I stopped. I got a cold spot right here in my chest instead. Used to go in the tub to try to warm it up. I thought there was no blood there in that spot. Had the girls massage it. The rock, I called it. I still feel it, except when... Oh, wait. Guess. You got it. Drinking. Warms things up. Puts the blood back. Bloody Marys put it back on Saturday morning. Me, oddly enough, I like 'em long on the Mary, short on the blood. Go figure. Hey, I said I don't cry. And so I'll stop pissing and moaning. All I got to say is that I'm dying here. And I know it. I was dying for a real life for a while, for a warm spot that worked on its own. But no more. A little late, and way too late to die young. All I got right about now is this drink, and I'm not letting go. Fuck everybody. If I let go, I'll drown. People say, you're drowning now. But I say, no, I'm saved. It's a lifesaver. A love story, remember? Okay, maybe not a good long-term plan according to you, but it beats going under. I let go of this, I am gone, and I want to stay. See how things work out. That's why I love it. It's my ticket to staying here, living free, and not dying scared. Get it? So, you say quit? I don't think so. A DUI, liver enzymes, couple of bouts with pancreatitis, 2 divorces, 3 jobs in 7 years didn't get me to quit. And sure as hell, none of the village idiots are going to get me to do it either. It's my right to drink. It's my right to smash myself every day and night if I want to. What's the sense of living in the land of the free if you can't do what you want? What did I smell that smell for? What am I supposed to do? Just go to church? Talk to another shrink? Play with a buzzsaw in the basement? Make boxes? Go to town meetings? Drink tea? Work on my abs? Meditate on my navel? Twist myself into positions somebody from India made up? Take antidepressants? Sometimes I want to seal myself in a clear plastic bag and lie down on the side of those damn walking paths for the neighbors chasing their cockapoos' butts around. Just lie there in the sun, no expression. It'd scare them to death. Then maybe they'd understand something. Maybe. But that they wouldn't. They wouldn't know what to make of a body in a bag. They just call the police and then go to therapy to talk to somebody else who couldn't deal with it. So this kid's coming towards me on my way to the store the other day, and he's maybe 4 or 5 years old, riding his bike with training wheels on the sidewalk, and he stops moving, and I see him out ahead of me, pedaling like mad, but not going anywhere. And then as I get to him, his mother is walking away behind him with a baby strapped to her chest in a kind of papoose. And when I get to him, I see his rear tire is suspended over a deep dip in the asphalt. The training wheels are keeping the tire above the hole. And so he pedals, but he doesn't move. And I say, "Hey, buddy, you're pedaling pretty hard there, but you're not getting anywhere." And he says, get this, "I'm stuck, but I like it." Can you beat that? Then his mother catches up and she says, with an accent, maybe Israeli, maybe French, she says, "He loves that." Me and that kid, that's just how we roll. Maybe I'm spinning my wheels, but I like it. I love that. So, I'll keep drinking. It's my right. And I pray, and I pledge defiance to the flag of the village and to the shit balloon for which it stands. One nation, under God, from here and forever I do what the fuck I want. Now go on and get out of my head. I got some herbs to wash down.